a great
You literally, the way you counted for that was
Welcome.
not right.
Welcome.
Do you know what I mean?
Welcome to the Rad Dudecast, episode 55. Of course, we are here in Astoria, Queens. My name is Brendan Ayer. It is a scorcher outside. The sidewalks are aflame.
It's hot.
Yeah, it's hot, right?
Absolutely.
I'm here with my co-host,
Anthony, as always.
Anthony DeVito, great man, and thank you for listening to last week's podcast. Please share this podcast with your friends. Share it on Facebook, all social media. Follow us on Twitter at the Rad Dudecast. Wanted to do a few quick Twitter shout-outs before we get started here. We have some big-time fans. Of course, we got a great tweet from That's My Time podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Was that a podcast you did or something?
I think that's Whitney.
Oh, okay. They did a great. They liked us.
From Eastville.
Urge, of course, RJ, at ERRJ_Mira, MIRA, is our biggest fan.
Yeah.
Send us in just paintings, weird pictures of himself.
Yeah.
He's the best.
Did I tell you what he did? Urge emailed TonyTime@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Did I tell you that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. So I want to personally give a huge shout out to him for emailing whoever the owner of TonyTime@gmail.com and CCing me at Devo4Tivo@gmail.com on the email to get the email address TonyTime@gmail.com. Thank you so much. And please, if aside from Urge, because if he does it every week, I feel like that guy will get real mad at him, or that girl, I don't want to judge, could do the same, that'd be great. Really get this campaign off the ground and get me that email address.
And then Jonathan Ferguson at That Guy Fergo, that's That Guy Fergo, sent in a topic to discuss. I don't know if we're going to get to it today, but he's a cool listener, so shout out to Jonathan Ferguson. So that's the thing, if you tweet at us at the Rad Dudecast, we will more than likely call you, become a regular part of your life, all of that. But so that's out of the way. Again, I know the question that must be on all of your minds. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, we're this far into the podcast. Where is Greg Stone? Where is Greg Stone? And that goes without saying. Greg Stone couldn't be here this week. He could not make the podcast. He
got shows?
Unfortunately, he has shows. But he arranged a last-minute fill-in. And imagine mine and Anthony's surprise when who showed up to co-host the podcast with us, but none other than the legend himself, Mr. Bernie Mac.
You forgot legendary. And the legendary Bernie Mac. The Mac Man in the house on the day. You guys is crazy.
This is crazy for multiple reasons.
Many reasons it's crazy, and it's an honor, I would say.
A huge honor. I've been a fan of yours for such a long time.
Tony, that's very nice of you to say. Let me tell you, I ain't never say nothing like that. I tell you that. Oh, no. But it's good to be on the show. The Mac Man's probably going to take it over. Don't want to take it over on you, but I might have to.
Now, is this your first podcast experience? Are you a podcast guy? What are your thoughts?
Never really been on a podcast circuit. Let me tell you, because I'll tell you something. I really fell out of the scene in about 09, 010. Something like that. Somewhere around those days. And that's really when the podcast happened.
Yeah. You mentioned you fell out of the scene.
Fell out of the scene, he said.
Interesting way to put it. 09, 010. What do you remember that happened?
Well, I'll tell you, before I got here, I went to see a doctor. The doctor said, well, please look, they'll be all right for you, B-man. Next thing I know, I'm here on the podcast. So I'm not really sure where the last 5 or 6 years it went.
Well,
Has anyone told you what's happened?
Well, I talked to your co-host, Greg Stone, a very nice man, very good man. One of the best men, a real good man. He just said show up to the cast. And, other than that, it's really been a mystery. We'll get into that a little bit later. I really don't want to.
Sounds great.
Sounds great. Listen.
Just happy to be here.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
You don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
Yeah, we're just so happy you're here.
We've got Bernie Mac. here at the podcast. Let's not worry about where he's been.
Let's just go about.
Let's just go about our business. Anthony, how was your weekend?
Good. This is good.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah, what'd you do?
Went to my girlfriend's sister's wedding.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
That's fun.
Yeah.
And now I had some shows, Bernie. I did some shows at a casino.
Oh, them casino shows is rough. How'd that lady wedding? The fun? We had a good time over there?
Good time. I had a real
You
good
tear
time.
it up on the dance floor?
A little bit, yeah.
When Bernie gets on the dance floor, I just tap it that air, tap it that air, tap that air, tap it all that air. Mac Man.
Now, when you go to a wedding, do you ever will you ever take the mic, do a little freestyle rapping?
No, I'm old school. I don't really believe in that hip happy. No. When the B-man gets on, I take a microphone, I serenade a woman with a nice R&B song. I'll sing a little something like, "Lady, you're the one for this other man." Yeah, give me a little soul. Give me a little soul.
Don't stop. Give us the we run freeform. So if you want to really,
feel free,
really
man.
give us
Don't worry. The Mac Man want to see. Mac Man ain't scared of you. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. I tell you, if I want to take over, I'll take over the damn show. I don't just come around with this knick-knack, paddywhack garbage and expect y'all to hold me up. Ain't nobody gonna hold up the B-man. B-man, it'll be all right.
B-man, can I call you B-man?
Sure. Of course.
Far be it from me to call into question your expertise or anything of that nature. But did you just say barbage?
What? Sometimes Mac don't know what he just said. A lot of things is just coming out like a machine gun. Bullets is flying. Lead, whatever I grab, I put it in the gun, I just shoot it out.
Okay.
Let me ask you, what is this thing here? We going out straight to America? Who's listening? Is AM, FM? What we talking?
Well, technically, I mean, it could be broadcast all over. Not really broadcast. Whoever wants to listen to this can listen. They don't have to be American or be in America.
Wonderful.
You download it on the internet.
Yeah. You know about the internet?
I've been out of the loop for a little bit, and even when I was in the loop, I was out of the loop. B-Man just does his own thing. I drive around in my Cadillac. I just talk to women. That's really all I do.
Well, because I was going to mention, I feel as if the internet was up and running pretty strong by 2009.
I'm old school. Yeah. Newspaper, letters, papers, all them things. You can't hold the B-Man down, and I ain't going to be held down by no keyboard. No way. No way.
So I got one question, and we'll just go right back to what we were doing. But the new Transformers movie is coming out Friday, and you were once a giant part of that franchise.
Big problem here. Let me tell you, original movie was called Bernie Mac Getting Loose. But I'll tell you this. Since I had to take my little leave of absence, they didn't have no one to film the rest of my scenes. So they had to substitute me. They had to substitute the Burn Man with a bunch of robot changing cars. Change the whole machine around.
So you're telling me that movie wasn't originally going to be about Transformers?
That original movie was Sheila Buff buying from old Bernie Mac's Car and Supplies. Me and my mammy. Right, mammy? Shut up, mammy. I'll smack you out of here. It's just about a movie about me just smacking my old mammy up inside.
So Michael Bay, that movie, everything was in progress.
Yeah.
And then what happened that you couldn't? What happened?
Well, I'll tell you the original story. What happened was I was sitting on my stoop. I was sitting at the stoop in my fancy Atlanta home. 13 bedrooms. Bigger than anything you ever seen in your life. I'll tell you, this is my house. I got a 19-car garage. Tell you that they wasn't proud of. Ain't no motherfucking windows in that motherfucking house. I don't know what it was.
That's so crazy that you would say that.
It's funny because
Greg and I once did a similar bit about how you can get a house that's got all these things, but no windows.
No goddamn window. I tell you, they put me over the fucking counter and spanked my ass when I said that. No matter how. I tell you what, I walk into the house, they said, "You got 19-car garage." I said, "That's a wonderful." I put 8 of my Cadillacs right there. No problem. No question. You can ask me a question. I got no questions.
Now
they take me in so real quick. I hate to cut you off.
No,
little man, big man. I tell you that they got a sweet looking pool, Olympic-sized pool, Carl Phelps. Not that racist motherfucker. I'll smack him upside his motherfucking house. He come around my house.
Oh, Fred Phelps, right? Yeah.
Nah, him. You get old under the other fucking swimming man over here. He'll go crazy in my
Michael
pool.
Phelps.
Michael Phelps.
Heated.
Mixture.
Heated.
That pool's heated?
Everything is heated. Floors, walls, anything. I got my damn refrigerator heated. That's how hot my apartment is.
Now it's an apartment?
Every room is an apartment. But I tell you, one problem. Ain't no motherfucking windows in that motherfucking house.
So I tell you.
Took me curtains galore. Don't open a curtain because you got brick wall.
Curtains to a brick wall.
Yeah. Now, so let me tell you, I'm sitting on my apartment stoop outside. Sorry to listen up here now, sir. I'll tell you something about the business, okay? You can't trust these motherfuckers. Michael Bay come to my house. He said, I gotta pitch you an idea. I said, pitch the Mac man whatever you got. I'll listen. I ain't gonna take it. You show me the money. He says, I want to do a movie about a car salesman. You the car salesman. All right, so okay, I'll take a look. I'll take a look at your script. A car salesman who slap his mammy up inside her head. And I say, I'm sold. What else you guys say? We got to get this child above a career. I said, all right, I sign on. They say, you write the script. I said, I'll write the script. I ain't going to show nobody the script. When we get there, y'all just going to read my script. This, that, I film a scene. Something happens. Don't know where I've been. Next thing I know, I heard it's a Transformers movie. So I don't really know what they did, but they really just took the gold that was my scenes, turned it into something else. Turn a whole trilogy based on Bernie Mac's car sales show.
That is, I feel like that's a piece of Transformers trivia that even the diehard fans are getting for the first time right here on the show. You heard it here first on the Rad Dudecast. The Transformers, the entire trilogy, was originally penned by no other than Bernie Mac as a feature film where he's a car salesman mainly focused on smacking his mammy upside the head. And that's something.
The tagline was, Mammy at a hand, give it a right one. Bernie Mac. That's the whole tagline.
Now,
Bernie Mac.
If I could...
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No. I was going to say that's an interesting piece of trivia, and that might lead us into actually a couple questions.
Well, that's the thing. If you could get into it for us, and you don't have to if you're uncomfortable. I've got a couple other questions, and so we can come back to that later. But where we're going to have to go at some point is, what is the last thing you remember happening in 09 before you magically appeared talking to Greg Stone regarding the podcast?
Not the first thing I remember. I did have pancakes yesterday with my dear wife and children, Jordan. Yes, they're my children, my nephews, my niece and nephew, Jordan, Nessa, and my wife. I can't remember her name right now.
Now, you had pancakes with them yesterday, or you're talking about the day before you sort of, I don't know, what would you call it, Anthony? I guess he disappeared.
Yeah, just disappeared.
That was the day before you disappeared, or yesterday?
I think it was, it's hard to say. I remember the sun was out, I was talking to Nessa. Little Jordan was trying to learn a magic trick or something.
Bernie, if you could, we've got to do a little audio check. If you could just here, I'm gonna twist this knob, give you a little music to listen to for a second. Anthony, I don't think he realizes, because he thinks that happened yesterday.
Yeah, I know he doesn't.
He doesn't know. I don't know.
We can't tell him.
We can't tell.
No, you can't tell him that. He's that.
Is he dead right now?
I don't really know. I try not to. When God does something like this, I try not to question it.
Okay, all right. But so what do we do? Do we just pretend it's 2010, or what do we?
No, just go about things the way they are now. To be honest with you, I think in 2010 he wasn't even know about the internet at that point.
Yeah,
so I don't really think it matters the jump from then to now.
Okay, cool.
All
right. Yeah, sorry about that, Bernie. We just had to adjust some audio there. I've got a question for you, and it's more just, forgive me, me if I could be a fan.
Of course,
for a moment.
Bernie love a fan. Everyone know that about the Mac Man.
One of the great moments.
Keep you cool.
Keep you cool when times is hot.
One of the great moments of my childhood. My dad took me and my friend Drew Dawson, took us to see Bill Bellamy's How to Be a Player. We were too young to see that movie. I was probably 10, 11, a lot of boobs, a lot of sex. Let me tell you something, Mr. Mac. You stole the show. Your wife was having an affair. You walked in the house and you said, it smells like Badussy up in here. And by Badussy, you meant booty, dick, and pussy.
Yeah, you know that Bernie Mac. One thing of Bernie Macisms is this. Just sometimes you know what you want to say, you just gotta say it all in one word. Buddhisms.
What?
You know what I'm saying?
What's that? What is it? Buddhisms.
A Buddhism is your booty, titties, and schism. It's a schism between the two. Hey, you know what I mean? You know, Mac, man, you get inside my head. Big lock. A lot of pins you got to turn to get into that lock. My brain is a vault that you will keep. I just can't keep a secret.
If I can try and turn some of those vault pins, was that something you improvised?
Go.
Yeah, go back.
I just want to go back 1 second.
Sure.
You said that your mind,
America,
your mind is a lock. Your mind is a vault. Then you also said that you can't keep a secret.
That is true. Next, you see, what you do is you like to look right inside. You try to get in there, and you try to look at what I say. You say this is what it means, but you ain't looking at the bigger picture. Okay, you can own a vault. Now your secret is not something I'm gonna put in my vault. It's something I'm gonna put on top of the vault. Now people come around and they just say, "Look at that vault, can't get in there." Well, I'm gonna take whatever's on top, and what is on top is your secrets.
So what goes?
So what's in the vault?
What's in the vault?
The main things. How do you breathe? Swallowing, lung capacity. These are the things you cannot lose, people. These are the main things that as a human you cannot forget. The major. Also, I got a couple theories in there.
Well,
maybe we can get to those at some point in the podcast.
Well, I'll probably drop a couple of them theories on you at any time.
Perfect.
Theory 1.
Yes, go ahead.
Always breathe in before you breathe out.
It's interesting you call that a theory.
That's more just how you breathe.
Yeah, of course, it's how you breathe, but you got to remember the facts. If you breathe out first, you're not taking in no air. You're just going to kill yourself. Put that in your vault.
It's in.
Good. Fair enough.
So is your question, Brendan?
You guys see Mr. Baseball?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was my favorite piece of work. That was actually written for Dane Cook.
Really?
Yeah, but he couldn't have it.
Do you mean Mr. 3000?
Yeah, Mr. Baseball. My baseball movie
was the movie with Tom Selleck.
Yeah, in Japan.
In Japan.
Yeah, that was the same movie.
80s.
It was the same movie.
That was written for Dane Cook or Mr. 3000?
No, Mr. 3000 and Mr. Baseball are the same movie. You need to understand that is the same exact movie. We shot them, literally shot the same day with the same crew. Same movie.
So they just waited years to release Mr. 3000.
Yeah, maybe 20 years almost.
That's how the Mac Man worked. They released the same day, but I'm a slow burner kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? You look at me real quick, I ain't gonna get you till later. You know what I mean? Also, my comedy isn't just something you're gonna laugh at immediately. No, they put it out in 1986. And then the year, whatever the hell year it came out, that's when people recognized it as a comedy. It was been there the whole time. You didn't see it. You didn't see it. You didn't see it. You didn't see it. Got a weird cough. Had a weird cough for about 10 years.
10 years? Oh, boy. I had a question regarding one of your jokes. I was thinking maybe would you mind if we take this opportunity to kind of delve into your mind, see where you're at?
You can check out whatever is on the outside of the vault.
But you already told us something that was in the vault.
I'll tell you a few things, but not everything. I'll tell you a couple of my theories. I got a couple of theories I'll tell you about that.
Yeah, you told us about the breathe in, breathe out. Are most of your theories along those lines?
Well, one of the theories is your hair must continually be growing. You understand what I'm saying? You got to tell your brain to get the hair going in your body.
All right, listen, I don't...
Skin recovery. Mm-hmm. Keep your lips wet. You never get hungry if your lips is wet.
Bernie, can I call you Bernie? What do you want? B-Man, Bernie, Mr.
Bernie,
Mac?
Mr. Baseball, whatever you want to call me.
Okay, here's the thing, Mr. Baseball. So far, these
feel a little weird.
These theories you've sort of put to us as theories, They seem to be things that just happen without any control. Your hair grows. You breathe. A baby does these things. They don't need any information. Your skin regenerates. And those were your first 3 theories. I don't know if those are theories so much as they are facts of human existence.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah, I would agree.
We all agree.
So
Perfect.
So in other words, why are you? Again, we had you on the podcast. You did us the favor. I don't want to rile you up. I don't want to get you angry. Why would you present those to us as your vaulted theories when in fact they're just something every human inherently does?
Let me tell you a story, and this is gonna change your life. You got young comedians. I got to give you a little bit of something. All right. Now there's this woman who lived down south. Her name was Dorothy Fanny. First name, they called her Old Fanny. Or they called her Young Dorothy. Whatever they did, I don't really remember her. She wasn't very important in my life, but I'll tell you this why she wasn't important. That woman was a farmer. She had the most grandiose of farms. She had every animal you could see. She had a giraffe in there. I thought it was a zoo. No way. One of the nicest farms you ever done seen. All right? You go out there, you got a lamb. You got a llama. You got everything. You got lambs riding llamas. I thought that place was a party. Them animals was on drugs. So I'll tell you, one day everybody would come around that farm and they'd say, "Can I touch the animals?" And Dorothy, Fanny Dorothy, she was the sweetest woman with a fine body, hourglass body. She looked like her up and down. I licked that body. I would lick that woman up and down, make her sweet and salty. You know what I'm talking about? You ever see a nice, caramel, sweet and salty woman? I love a caramel woman. The problem in these kids that come, they pet the animals, they get all this. And one day this woman says, "You got the wonderful cows. You got 100 cows. Let me get a little bit of that milk." Of course, Dr. Gail, she gave all the children the milk. She got the children the milk. She got the parent the milk. She got the neighbor the milk. They all get the milk. So months go by. The bills is coming. She not making. She got no goddamn money. The animals are starving. They're getting the llama. So you see the llama's bones. The goddamn sheep is eating the chickens.
Oh boy.
She talked to her community. She say, "Community, you always becoming petting my animals, getting the free milk. Give me a little money."
Right.
They say, "No way." They say, "No way, no how. We don't have our fill on milk. We had our fill on petting your animals. We don't need you no more." So that's what they say. If you got the cow, you sell the cows. You don't get out of that milk because ain't no one gonna buy it if it's free. So I'm not gonna give you my secrets. I just
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I get it.
All right.
Just give me stuff that I can,
You're giving us sort of fakes. You're giving us out the freebies, but the good stuff, you're not giving out the good stuff for free because we'll come back. You got bills to pay.
Yeah.
You give us the good stuff for free.
You
We
got
come
paid to
back.
see that.
We don't need it.
You don't need the Mac Man week 2.
Right, that's what you meant by you listen to you now, you get you a lot later. It takes a little while.
Yeah, that's
See?
interesting.
Yeah.
Because I thought I will be perhaps painfully honest with you. I thought that story was going to lead to a completely unrelated point. And it did not. It hit the nail right on the head.
If I could be even more painfully honest, I thought that story was just going nowhere.
No, see, that's a thing you don't know about the Mac Man. I got a lot of wisdom. I got a lot of knowledge, and I'm going to give it to you, but at a premium cost.
Interesting.
So this is what we're getting for free.
Yeah, you got free Mac Man now, you know what I mean?
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm forever grateful.
I charge, you seem like a sweet man.
Yeah.
I'll give you some of them free tips, but maybe we turn the radio off. I'll give it to you.
Now, I know you don't want to give too much. Oh, you have a point?
No, I was going to say, you said turn the radio off. I was going to say, I don't know if this is extending my bounds, but if I were to offer you payment for being on the show, if you'd give some of those paid tips, but you said off the radio, whatever your call, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, you gave me a credit. I'll give you, I'll give you something if you have a question for the man. I'll take questions if you want to.
Well, that's funny you should mention that. I happened to tweet out earlier today that, of course, we had the inimitable Bernie Mac on our show today, one of the all-time greats. And I asked our listeners if they had any questions for you. A lot of guys came to us with relationship advice. And I was wondering if you would care to weigh in on that, or
if the listeners want to ask me some questions about their love, yeah, I'll tell them the way to get it. I'll tell them where. I'll take them 2 times from Tuesday.
Okay.
On how to get some old love advice from the Mac Man.
Well, let me see. One gentleman from Michigan, from Flint, Michigan, Mike, listener Mike, emailed in. He said. Dear the Rad Dudecast and Bernie Mac. First of all, he says, Mr. Mac, I am a huge fan. Your live, your Def Jam comedy special is one of the greatest of all time, he says.
Made my career.
Which I can't agree with more. I think it was fantastic.
Made me.
Mike goes on to say, I'm having some trouble in the bedroom with my girlfriend. We've been together 3 years. We seem to have hit a rut. We're doing, and he gets with a little graphic here. He says we do a lot of missionary and doggy style and her on top, but those are their only 3 moves. He's looking for what are some other moves or options to spice things up in the bedroom. And thanks for that, Mike. We appreciate it.
Now, let me say, he said here he does a missionary. He does her on top. Has he done the reverse cowboy? You got to go reverse because it goes from front to back. If you're going to ride the stallion, you got to ride it to town. You don't just put the horse in the backyard. No. You got to take the horse all the way to Main Street. This way everyone will see you riding that horse and say, my God, Bernie Mac done it again.
Wait a second. They're going to see Mike doing reverse cowgirl with his girlfriend, and they're going to say Bernie Mac has done it again.
No, we moved on from reverse cowgirl hours ago. What I'm saying is he's got to start taking that woman to town, banging her in public places. That's going to liven up your relationship.
Oh, okay.
You take the stallion to Main Street.
But aren't you afraid? Because sex in public, for the most part, is illegal.
Not in Atlanta.
Yeah, no, I think in it.
Man, I don't want to say, but yeah.
I don't know the laws, but yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this: no cop's going to give Bernie Mac a ticket.
Right.
So that's the truth.
But what about?
So
But Mike isn't Bernie Mac.
He's also in
when you're doing
Michigan.
Bernie Mac's moves, you is Bernie Mac essentially. It's kind of like when you go to church and you take upon the cookie of the Lord. You ever put the Lord's cookie in your mouth?
Then you are the Lord.
You put it's the body of Christ. You're doing the body of Bernie. I tell you this, what you got to do too, right? When you're going down on that girl, you got to kiss her caramel skin.
Well, that's an interesting. You bring that up because our next question from Elise in Burbank, California.
Burbank, wonderful town. Johnny Carson. I've done Johnny's show so many times.
Elise writes in, and this is a little touchy.
That's a little piece of comedy history. What's her favorite memory?
Well, my favorite memory with Bernie Mac, I tell you, I sat down with Johnny Carson. He said, you know, you should be running this show. I said, I've been running this show for years, Johnny, but you just enjoy your stay. I'll take it back in a month.
Okay, this is perhaps bigger news than the Transformer trivia we broke here earlier. Let me see if I'm getting this straight. You were, in fact, secretly running the Tonight Show.
But, yeah. Well, I tell you, little white Johnny Carson, he was a skinny little fucker. I used to call him Slim. I used to call him Slim Boy Slim. I said, Slim Boy Slim, what you doing? He said, I got this He said, well, I got this TV show, and I don't know what I'm going to do. Don't know. And I said, hey, let me tell you, sit down, Johnny. Sit down, let me tell you. I'll tell you what you got to do, Johnny. You look that crowd in the eyes, and you say, I'm scared of you, motherfuckers. I'm scared of you.
And was he like, well, I can't say motherfucker because on the air I'll probably get thrown off?
Close, but I'm saying to take it to your mind. You just put that mentality in your mind, and then had that boy. He ran that show. He ran that show right into the ground. I think I don't know how long he did, but he ran it right into the ground.
Johnny Carson.
Very controversial comment, Mr.
yes.
Mack, that Johnny Carson ran the Tonight Show into the ground. History would sort of argue with you that it was wildly successful.
Wildly successful for that scrawny little white boy. If they had put Bernie Mac on that show would be happening right now. That show would be happening in every state, every country.
Once again,
every man's mind would be Bernie Mac letting that talk show host extraordinaire.
Once again,
I ain't scared of you, motherfucker.
Once again, just the Tonight Show is still running in every show, in every household,
Every
if they
state,
choose to watch it, every state. Just so you know that.
Bernie Mac wallpaper. That's what they would be selling, because everybody would want their house to look like Bernie Mac's TV show.
The other thing is, you sort of glossed over, because I do think this is a huge impact and historical moment in television. Your explanation of you running the Tonight Show for years was just actually one piece of advice that you gave to Johnny Carson. Were you, in fact, behind the scenes, you were in control of the Tonight Show, or you just told Slim Boy Slim one time not to be afraid of
I tell him that one time, I said, don't you be scared. Don't be scared of these motherfuckers. Every time Johnny here gets scared, but when you look at Johnny, if you see in his mind, you got a big old smiling Bernie Mac. That man was using my personality to get him as far as he could, and I tell you, he did all right with that show. He did okay, ran right to the ground, but he did as good as he could with no skills.
Wow.
No talents.
Boy, this could be a historical
Yeah, this is huge. This is more than I had anticipated
in podcasting history, because it turns out Bernie Mac not just responsible for all of the amazing Bernie Mac
throughout the
projects
years
that you've seen, but also the Tonight Show,
Transformers.
We've got some great back history on Transformers.
Also,
now,
the breathing stuff. That's interesting.
The breathing stuff is
great.
important. Keep your hair growing.
Your
At all
hair
times.
growing. That's also important advice.
Let me tell you a little something. Can I tell you?
Of course, you can.
Real quick
Bernie,
story.
This is
What
your
happened.
stage.
I think it was 1970 something. I couldn't tell you exactly year it was, but they came up to Bernie and said, "I got a great idea for a TV show." I said, "What is it?" They said, "We're gonna get the 3 beautiful-looking women, and we're gonna have them just constantly going down on you." And I said, "That sounds great, but you're gonna need more to entice the Mac man." They said, "Well, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make this show as wild and sensational as we can." I said, "You do what you can, but I ain't gonna do it until it is proven and I could make $1." They ran that show for some 20 years. They do the first movie. They said, "Bernie, we're gonna do a movie. We want you to be in the movie." I said, "I'm still not ready. It isn't up to Bernie's standards." They do the first movie. It makes $1 billion. I sign on for the second movie. History is told. They wrote that Charlie's Angel was all based on a movie idea that was 3 international women sucking on my wham jammer.
So you're telling me that network executives approached you in the 70s?
Whenever that show came out, I don't know, Bernie's memory is not so good.
And
I've been a little sick lately.
pitched a show to you, television show, which would air on network television, that was just 3 women going down on you.
Yeah. Well, it was alluded to. You couldn't show that kind of thing on that kind of television back then.
Bernie, not to interrupt, but are you a little cold? You look a little.
I feel a little sick. I got a little bit of some kind of congestion going on. I'm not really sure what it is.
He doesn't look great.
Maybe after the show you go see somebody about it.
I will. I
Anyway.
made an appointment yesterday to see a doctor today. I do not remember what happened.
Now, before
Maybe
I
I
get to...
forgot. I got to check out my calendar. Check it later. Check it later. Nessa? Where Nessa at? You on it? Yeah, son of a bitch. Yeah, whoop that boy. Whip his ass. I'll tell you that. Yeah, spare the rod. Do not spare the rod. You beat your children.
Now, are you...
I gotta go back 1 second. Did you just advocate for beating children?
Of course. You never beat a man, you never beat a woman, but you beat a baby down until he'll become right.
A baby.
I mean, Yeah, that is wild.
Yeah, cool. You didn't get hit when you grew up?
What?
When Bernie used to get out of control, old Mammy used to say, Mammy! Mammy used to smack me all damn hard upside down. She hit me like hit me once and hit me down again like a volleyball. She spiked me up and then smacked me down to the ground. That's why
Mammy
she
would
called,
refer to herself as Mammy.
I think she was talking to him. I think she
She
called
would call
Bernie
you
Mammy.
No, I was saying, Mammy, I done wrong and shit like a blitzkrieg lightning strike would smack me down or smack the white off my skin.
So you knew you would be smacked, and yet you would still say,
I'd like to
you would
also
say,
go back to something else.
well, right. You do bring up, I think your point is more relevant. Why don't you go ahead, Anthony?
Were you born white?
Yes, you
Yeah.
did mention smack the white off your
Does
skin.
Bernie sound like a black man's name to you?
I mean, I don't know any other Bernies but Bernie Lomax and you. So judging off if you didn't exist,
I'm
it
an
would
international
sound white.
sensation. White, black, I'm all the flavors. I've been them all. But man, it hit me so many times. Every color came off me like a rainbow only showing blue.
So you were abused so many times by your mother
Mammy.
by your grandmother that you would literally change races. And at this point, you are saying you've been every race.
I could, to be honest with you, it's so long ago because I'm an immortal sensation. I've been alive for thousands of years. I couldn't even tell you what race I started off as, but I know currently I am a proud black man, but at one point I was Asian. I was sure as
Yep.
shit Korean.
We're going to have to freeze you in your tracks.
Bernie Mac, you are full of surprises.
You have. Wait a sec. Did he? You're telling me. Go ahead,
It's a
Anthony.
hell of a cough. I would be hard pressed to say there's so many things on a scale that I can't even comprehend that you may or may not have done or been responsible for throughout the years.
Well, if I could take the biggest issue
Yeah.
right here and this is groundbreaking. This is groundbreaking and sensational. We're finding out today for the first time, Bernie Mac, you said it here on the Rad Dudecast. You've been alive for thousands of years?
The first man born on this earth was none other than Bernie Mac. Let me tell you something about the pea-brain humans on this motherfucking planet. Them motherfucking humans, human beings on this planet, they all straight. They all gonna go one way. When you tell them something, they're gonna go straight. They're gonna go straight. No one gonna change their mind. But then you got a couple people like myself, me, and we like to call ourselves the International Immortals. We've been around for 1,000 years. Anything that has been worth anything on this planet has been changed by Bernie Mac and one of my teammates, the International Immortals. From Jesus Christ. That's not really Jesus Christ. I'm not going to give his name right now, but he's a friend of mine. He writ the Bible. Everything that has changed America has been one of us.
I am stunned right now. And maybe, Anthony, maybe I found something that might be in the vault, and maybe we can get into the vault.
Yeah.
If we could do this, we could be eligible for some kind of journalism.
You didn't know
award
how deep the vault went.
of some type. Please. Who else
Who
is
else?
a member of the International Immortal?
Well, I'm telling you, I'm not going to just jump out and tell you that right now. I'll tell you one of the shitty ones is Paulie Shore. That guy's been around. He ain't doing shit, though.
Paulie Shore?
Paulie Shore, International Immortal. That guy been sucking it up for thousands. That boy, you think you have a shitty hang? That guy been hanging around for thousands of years. He won't get out wheezing the motherfucker. Wheeze your mouth. I try to drown that motherfucker in the river when we were making the goddamn pyramids. When we built
What?
Yeah, when we
You're responsible. You and Paulie Shore are responsible for the periods, and you're the pyramids, and you're not of this earth.
I'm not of this earth. Well, that's not that I'm not of this earth. I am not of this element. You understand what I'm saying?
No.
Everything on this planet come from the same type of thing. Thousands upon years ago, a sun has because of its density has exploded. Okay, you know what I'm saying? And gravity has pulled things together, creating the Mother Earth. The thing you love, the green Mother Earth. The most beautiful woman on this planet is Mother Earth. You got to respect her. Now, I did not come from none of those things. Bernie Mac and the 7 international immortals came to this planet to just make some change. We come from a galaxy from very far away. It's very funny. It's called Atlanta. But it's not just randomly that there's also an Atlanta here. There's another Atlanta that is over 1,100 light years away.
Did you name the city Atlanta
Actually,
after your home?
No, it's random. It's completely random that there's also an Atlanta here.
Another question. So you mentioned you said there are 7 international immortals. One of them is you. Another one is Pauly Shore, and then there are 5 on top of that.
Yeah.
So one of the selected 7, Pauly Shore.
Sure. One of the he wasn't selected. He just
Okay.
one of the 7 who got on the ship before our planet blew up.
What?
Yeah, he had a very powerful mother. She pulled some strings. She got him on the ship. We were all very mad. The first president of our country died, and then this stupid motherfucker lived.
Now, it would seem to me that you only really seem to rise to prominence in the latter half of the 20th century. But you have been around since the creation of Earth. So, for instance, I'm just curious as to where you were, what you've been doing. For instance, the Civil War, 1860. Where were you during that period?
Yeah, I was clearly hanging out with my friend, President Carter. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting Abraham Lincoln. Carter and Abraham Lincoln are the same person. I don't know if you knew that. Every president of this United States is the same man. Did you not know this?
We have this.
I'm in the dark about all this.
Are you kidding me?
Everything you've told us
Yeah.
has shattered the way I observe existence.
Yeah.
Every president of the United States has been one single man.
Who?
Well, it depends on when you catch him. Abraham Lincoln, today's Obama, a few years ago.
But who is the original man?
Where did he come from? What is his?
He's
his
one of the
goals?
7 immortals.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
but it's
we
not
all
Pauly
got our own.
Shore.
You know, we got our own
Because-
jobs. Yeah, his job was. We say, yeah, you gonna. He said, I want to be president. I said, yeah, you'll be the president. But if he was here's the thing, you give him one term, it's 4 years. This man, that's 4 years of 1,000-year lifespan, ain't nothing.
Blink of an eye.
Yeah, so we just say, you just keep doing it. But he's so good, he gets elected
Have
every
you
time.
been-
Never lost an election.
Have you been anyone else but Bernie Mac? Like,
That's a funny thing you say that because I always been Bernie Mac. I always been big black Bernie.
Well, that's first of all. You just told us you were every race there ever was.
In my essence.
Okay.
oh, okay.
You
okay.
understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
I always been this. I always been that. Always been this. I used to be a man called Shang Lao. Yeah, first man to overthrow the Chinese government. This is years before Western culture has happened. Yes,
And of course, if we fact check this isn't going to be in the history books that we know of because this is all secret.
it's in my
information.
vault.
Sure, exactly.
Yeah, the history books
Okay.
in the Bernie Mac vault. Yeah.
Getting in the vault.
So tell us about Shang Lao.
Shang Lao was a good man. Now here's the thing about him. Okay, what I used to do with him, that people would say this country, this country, we got this overlord looking at us, really putting people in slavery. And I said, that's none of my business. That's none of the Mac man's business. They said, Mac man, we need you to step up. I said, I'm Mac man and nothing but a simple man's entertainer. Cook my chickens, make my ladies laugh, hanging out with Jordan, Nessa. And I keep forgetting my damn wife's name. But as I see the sun is coming up, the moon is coming around, and people is in pain. So I say, all right, Nammy, give me old magic slap around. And she gives me a 1, 2 smacks in my face, turn me into an Oriental. And then I get a couple swords, storm the castle, take over China. Give the people their freedom. Brought the Berlin Wall down.
Whoa.
Yeah. That was years later.
Now, this is if we can. I don't even know if I can. My mind is in the right place to go where our listeners have demanded, but because this is mind blowing, astonishing. Turns out, first of all of Chinese history is determined by
Yeah.
the pyramids were built by Bernie Mac and Pauly Shore. Pauly Shore, Bernie Mac threw in a river during the building of the pyramids. Of course, we found out the President of the United States, been one man.
Who's never lost.
The whole time, never lost. This is certainly, well, of course, Bernie Mac ran the Tonight Show, and Bernie Mac was scripted originally to be
The Transformers.
yes,
movie.
but no Transformers were involved. So this is
The only thing that could top the Mac Man is a 16-wheel semi-truck turned into a machine.
Also, he lives in a 19-bedroom house apartment with no windows.
no windows, everything heated, refrigerated,
Goddamn
heated.
window
Curtains
in
galore.
a motherfucking
Which
house.
I will tell you at the time seemed shocking, but in hindsight,
Yeah,
tame.
it makes a ton of sense. And also
Yeah.
the disappearance makes a ton of
Ooh,
sense.
yeah.
Well, the thing about the windows is I can't have natural sunlight. Burn my skin right off.
Wait a second. So you didn't mention this before.
Yeah.
You can't have. So are you telling me you're a vampire?
Yeah, the International 7 is nothing more than what you lowly people think of as vampires.
Oh boy.
Yeah, could be Pauly
Whoa.
Shore, George Costanza,
I mean,
and several others.
the character on the
character
show,
of Jerry Seinfeld is one of the deadliest seven.
So how did he become? He just wanted. He wanted to have a little fun. He said, "I'll make who I really am. I'll use my influence
Right.
to make that a character."
Of course,
on
but
the
he
show."
was in character this whole time. Is what did he ever say? Jason Alexander. That name was
Yeah.
that his name? That
That's
name?
he was faking his.
Yeah,
personality.
so that when they did the show, they said, I'm just going to be myself, show you people who I really am. Show you who I really am.
Boy, well, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask. Our listeners want to know. Tell us, Bernie Mac, a member of the 7th International Immortals Vampire Clan, Ocean's 11.
Whoa.
That
Yeah.
series.
Yeah.
I mean, the talent gathered together. I mean, George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Matt Damon, Andy Garcia. The list goes on. I believe Al Pacino was one of them.
Sure. Julia
What?
Roberts.
Julia Roberts. I mean, a who's who of Hollywood. Who is who? And tell me, where did Bernie Mac fit in to that production? And what was it like working with those giants?
No, I didn't work with him, tell you the truth. Tell you the truth, Bernie Mac wasn't even in that movie. No. They just told me, they said, whoever, George Clooney said, you got to come do the movie. I said, I'm not going to, I got things to do that are way more important. So I whispered a few words into a letter and sent it to the director. They opened that letter, and that's whatever you see on that movie. That's how powerful the Mac Man is. I can transgress words and emotions into physical beings.
Let me just make sure I have this clear. When we watch Ocean's 11 and we see Bernie Mac on screen, you're telling me that, in fact, what happened on that set was you whispered words into an envelope, sent it to the director,
Yeah.
and that appeared.
And that is what you see from the lowly words of Bernie Mac.
Mr. Mac, I would say that it goes as far as to be almost unbelievable.
Well, that's because you have a smaller mind, you have a human mind, which is understandable. But when the 7 immortals, 7 get together, there's so many magical powers, so many things. You think a man could be a real human is as charismatic as what you've done seen on that show?
don't.
If I were to,
That would
friend,
explain Pauly Shore's career.
was to give you the full Bernie Mac, it'd be like sitting next to the sun. Your eyes would burn up, your skin would melt, your body would explode. I gotta hold them back.
So now that makes sense.
I gotta hold them back.
Your joke makes sense. If you pulled out your dick,
The whole room turned black.
That's what you meant.
So that's
Yeah.
what you meant.
Yeah. The entire universe.
So those jokes, some of those are just literally what would happen.
Bernie Mac ain't a comedian. Bernie Mac just says statements that it's true.
But they're so outlandish for our human brains that we're like, oh, that's an exaggeration.
You
That's
laugh.
got to be a joke, and we laugh.
You laugh.
But the truth behind that is it's all real.
Real is right as rain.
Well, here's the thing. As we're wrapping up, first of all, I cannot stress the honor you've bestowed upon us. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought it was, Anthony, I don't know about you, I thought it was an honor at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, I had no idea the rest of this would unfold the way it did.
Yeah.
When I just thought we were talking to Bernie Mac, one of the legends of comedy,
Right.
turns out we were talking to perhaps the most important man or being
That has
whatever he
ever-
is,
Yeah.
that's ever existed.
That's ever existed as we know.
Essentially God, as far
Yeah.
as we can.
God. Talk to yourselves for a second. I got to step out of the room for one moment.
Okay.
Well, this has been a phenomenal
It's really
treat.
eye-opening.
He is. You think he could be lying?
No,
No, he seems legit.
I think he seems legit. He seems
And-
to know too much.
You
and
guys-
it explains too much.
Well, and his feet are also invisible.
Yep, it
So
is
that's
true.
the thing. I did notice that when he first
also-
walked in.
He also, not for nothing,
Yeah.
rose from the dead.
Yeah.
So
right.
that's the only reason. Like, I'm like, well, that probably is true.
Yeah.
Because that's only other person that we know of that's ever done that is Jesus.
Yeah.
And he's the Son of God.
For all we know, that could be how he sleeps. He could sleep 5
that's
years.
a good point.
5 years every 200 years.
Right,
Takes
right,
a
right,
5-year
right.
nap.
Yeah.
He's back at it.
That's absolutely.
So
a good
this
point.
is huge that we broke this.
Yeah, this is going to be really big for the podcast.
Yeah.
I hope ever. You know what's tough? It's like because you do one of these things, or you have a guy that's like this big of a name. On
Yeah.
you know, we're a smaller-ish kind of a podcast as
Yeah.
of right now. We got our fans and they're
Boutique,
great.
yeah, we're boutique.
Boutique, if you
Yeah.
would. I just hope people know that it's the real Bernie Mac.
Well, that's the thing.
and they're not like,
Yeah.
well, that's a coincidence that Greg isn't here and Bernie
Right,
Mac
but
is
that's
here.
not it.
'Cause
That's
that's
not
not
it at
what
all. This
happened
is
at all.
Bernie Mac, and it just so happened Greg had a
And
bead
just-
on him. We don't know how
Yeah.
it got.
What's
him.
going on there, boy?
Hey,
Hey, man.
welcome back, Mr. Mac.
Sorry, I had to step out for a second. I had to use a urinal.
Now, as we wrap up, I think a good opportunity here. We have you here. You're an immortal. You've been around since the beginning of time. One of the classic formats of interviewing celebrity, interviewing actors, was established by James Lipton on Inside the Actors Studio. His classic 10 questions that he would ask everyone that ventured onto that program. I think it would be fitting if we were to ask you those questions today, Mr. Mack. You're in our presence. Would that be something?
The crowd would love to do whatever you guys think would be fit.
Okay. Question 1, Bernie Mac. What is your favorite word?
My favorite word, there's gotta be something like, I think I'm gonna say.
Pardon me?
Yeah, no say.
Do you know?
Is
Anthony,
that
what's he
the word?
saying?
Yeah,
I think he said, "I'll tell you, I know what I'm saying."
that's exactly what I said. I tell you, I know.
Okay.
Okay. What? Which? Well.
Let's put this one word.
Okay. Okay. What? Question 2. What is your least favorite word?
Crazy son of a...
That's 'cause
Crazy son of a bitch.
right, but I do feel like I've heard him say that.
But I
several
always say
times.
it in anger, you know. I never say it. I don't want to deal with no crazy son of a bitch. I just want to ease on down the road.
I got it. Question 3. What turns you on?
What turned me on is a luscious set of breasts.
I think that's fair enough.
Fair enough, man. Question 4.
Caramel breasts.
What turns you off?
Well, I'll tell you this, Lester, I'll tell you this, there's nothing turned that burn man off more than someone who's not very good with grammar.
Oh, you don't like a grammar?
Grammar police, they call me.
That's interesting because I feel like you know as
Within
as,
your comedy?
right as we've sort of classically accepted the rules of grammar, you don't really fit into.
What I meant, I should clarify what I'm saying. I don't like people who do not use Bernie Mac's grammar.
Oh,
Everyone on
so-
earth makes me crazy.
okay, fair enough. Question 5. What sound or noise do you love? Wait, was that the sound or noise, or were you amused with the question?
I'm going to take that
yeah.
as the sound. Question 6. What sound or noise do you hate?
They're very similar.
Very similar. There's
Just a double,
3
sort of a
yeah,
double
yeah,
up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Very similar. But the only thing different from rat poison and rat poison in a cake is the rat poison.
Absolutely right.
Not the cake. Because, you know, most people would assume it'd be the cake.
Nope.
Not the cake.
not the cake.
Yeah, in fact, you bring up a great point, Anthony. I would say rat poison is not the only difference. It's really the only similarity.
Yeah, it's
Well,
probably
I tell you the only difference between cake and no cake.
The cake.
Cake.
Rat poison.
Rat.
So following that logic, it would be the rat poison.
All right, you got Bernie this time.
Fair enough.
Question number
But I'm not going to let you get another one.
7. I think this one will be right up your alley. What is your favorite curse word?
My favorite curse word is stupid ass son of a bitch.
Wait, wasn't that his least favorite?
Crazy son of a bitch
Oh, okay,
was his
right,
least
okay.
favorite.
The only difference between a cake with rat poison and just eating rat poison alone is the cherry cake.
Now you got it.
Yep, I got it.
You got it.
The cake is cherry. I've never. That's
Yeah,
the
it's
thing you
not-
get from an immortal. I never knew that was
Also,
even an
never
option
heard
for
of a cherry cake. Question 8. What profession, other than your own, would you like to attempt?
Ooh. I tell you, this is not a profession that the man hasn't done.
I was gonna say.
But
Yeah.
I tell you this, I'd love to be a garbage man. The only thing I like more than taking out the trash is taking out the literal trash.
Oh,
Interesting. Interesting also because earlier you called it barbage.
Barbage? I like a good barbage.
Question 9. What profession would you not like to do?
I'll tell you this, the guy who received the trash.
Who receives the trash?
I don't know. I never went that far into the system of the garbage disposal government.
Really, this seems like the first thing you may not know about.
Yeah, I realize, because you know what? There's some things that just don't turn me on.
Right.
The acceptance of garbage.
And then I think Anthony's got one more question, and I think what we'll do is
That's
we'll probably wrap up on
gonna
this
do it.
question if you're okay with
Sure.
that. But boy, if I could say
This-
from the bottom of my heart and the bottom of the Rad Dudecast heart, thank you, Mr. Mack.
I'll tell you this. This has been the biggest pleasure of my life. I had some of the greatest
That's
times
huge.
here.
That really means a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you the rest of the immortals before we go.
Okay.
Gather around, gather around. So who do you know? Who did I tell you about so,
So
far?
far we got
Can I do question 10 before you do the revealing of the immortals? Because I think then question 10 is going to be very anticlimactic.
No.
Okay.
Let me just get through this.
Okay, perfect.
so far
Yeah.
we've got you.
We got me as number 6.
No, you're number 6.
Well,
Six.
that's when they gave me. There's no
Because I
specific
took
order.
you a little bit just from the way you talk and the way you what you've seen. I kind of took you as the leader.
Yeah.
Well, the numbers don't mean it's just where you sat.
Okay.
I'm a window man. So I couldn't be one. I ain't gonna fly the goddamn ship. Paulie Shore is the goddamn pilot.
Right. But
Okay.
interesting that you mentioned you're a window man.
Yeah.
Because of your house. You're a window man living in a windowless house. You're all powerful, so you could literally get any house that you wanted, seemingly.
Let me tell you why
Don't
I'm a
forget he
window
burns
man.
up in the sun.
Oh, that's right.
He built the pyramids
Yeah,
all
that's
at
right.
night.
Close-minded
That's
motherfucker.
right.
I'm a
100%.
window man because I like to close the window. You get somebody sitting next to you like a window open, you gotta deal with it. Now I
gotcha.
sit there, I close the window down.
All right. So Bernie Mac,
Fair.
we've got you, Bernie Mac. We've got Paulie Shore,
Paulie Shore.
who got on by accident. His mother pulled some strings. You said
And
Nobody liked
mother
it.
pulled some strings for him to be the pilot.
Right.
Let's keep that in mind.
This man who you hate and say is the worst hang of all time piloted the ship that saved your life from the exploding planet.
Well, we had another. Well, then we had those two. We had the president,
Of course, we had the president,
who is none other than Sully Sullenberger.
the pilot Sully Sullenberger, the miracle on the Hudson.
Yep.
He has been the president forever.
Forever. Well, the American president has
And you
also
didn't
been.
want him to pilot the ship.
Well, we all did. Hell, we always pushing for it. But Paul ain't got a real fucking attitude. Yeah, I could do it. I could do it. He barely did it. We ain't even supposed to be on this fucking planet. We were supposed to be on Mars.
Okay.
And then, of course, we've got George Costanza, the
George
character
Costanza, the character.
Okay.
from Seinfeld. That's 4. So there's 3 more of the 7 international immortals.
Mm-hmm. Then you got Darnell. Y'all don't know him. He didn't do anything famous. But for the most part, just works a lot of science things. Most of the big things came from him.
Darnell.
Okay,
Darnell.
Darnell.
Who the hell else was in that motherfucking ship?
So you don't remember? I mean, this is
This
Ah,
is
we don't keep
not a
up
big group.
as
Seven.
much. 7.
7 who
Not a
you've
lot.
known for thousands of years.
We
the
don't
only
keep
others
it,
of your
Judge.
type.
There was no Facebook 1,000 years ago. That wasn't.
Yeah.
Spacebook.
There was
It was the
space
book I
book.
brought with me to space.
Uh,
Cats are in the rye. And that would bring me to my next one.
So Catcher in the Rye has been around.
It's been around. It's a story older than literally the earth.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
So where did J.D. Salinger get his hands on it?
I was given it to from our other friend, Kurt Vonnegut.
Kurt Vonnegut.
Now, is that just a friend, or is he an immortal?
He was one of the immortals.
Oh.
So you're saying Kurt Vonnegut, one of the greatest authors of all time.
Yeah.
In fact, my favorite author had Catcher in the Rye in his possession.
Yep.
Did not publish that
Nope.
as his own work.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand that. Not in his real.
Kurt and Kurt.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, because our last one, of course, is Vonnegut's best friend, Kurt Loder, also one of the immortals.
That's the seventh immortal.
That's the seventh immortal.
Kurt Loder.
Kurt Loder.
Of MTV
Man.
News.
Yeah, making the news.
I always thought he was a cool guy.
He was
Yeah.
the coolest.
He's fizzled out a bit.
Kurt and
though.
Kurt. Nah, he didn't fizzle out. He just dressed up as someone else now. Will Ferrell.
It's interesting because I feel like they're both alive and existing at the same time.
Yeah, but have you ever seen him in the same place?
That's a good point.
I never have.
And I bet you can go back.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a final question, and then we're just going to wrap up the podcast once again.
Mm-hmm.
On behalf of myself, Brendan, the Rad Dudecast, it's just been such an honor to have you on here.
Yeah,
We
it's
Thank you
the
so much.
pleasure has been mine.
Number 10. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Well, that's funny you should say that. Because I got to tell you something. This cough I've been battling this whole podcast is not a cough. It's actually a pneumonia I've been stricken with. And I passed away. I tell you, this is the saddest moment of my life is when I saw Jesus Christ. I went up to the pearly gates, and Jesus said, I can't believe it took you so long to get here. And I said to him, I said, it's good to be here. And he said, well, that's really all I had to say. And I went in, we hugged, and now I'm in heaven with those two people from the Notebook. God bless you.